What's up? Welcome to season 1, episode 1 of Kill la Kill. There's only gonna be one season, it's a 25 episode anime. That's why I kind of want to watch Kill la Kill, because it's short. I can do it like a month or less. I love the animation, first of all. I'm gonna be quite honest. I think it's vibrant, the color. The action. There's some symbolism in there, right? It's such it's not a show I ever watched. I watched half of it years ago. I want to say like 7 or 8 years ago. But even in the first episode, you can clearly see I love Kill la Kill. Why? Because it's clever. It doesn't need to be clever, but it is. It doesn't need you to understand everything, but if you do, it helps. So, for example, why am I saying this? Is the good character, like the main character or best friend, they're very colorful. The street punk we're seeing here are very colorful. And then we're seeing the people at school who are wearing gray. So you got the color against the gray, and the color are vibrant. They're very alive, and the school feels like it's not alive. So this is something I fucking love. This is something I'm super grateful. The show started really simple. The way it started is amazing. We got a teacher who's talking about he's talking about the second war. He's talking about the regime, the Nazi regime, right? And right after, this is brilliant, right? Because right after you get a scene where there's kind of a regime from school where a student stole a uniform with stars. Stars equal power. So the way those people get power is by having a uniform, like a 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. The more star you have, the more power you have. The more power you have, the more influence you have at the school, right? It's kind of cool because in this episode there's so much going on, and I fucking love it, right? And it's kind of cool again because you see that there's a regime at school. They're keeping the uniform close by. They're choosing who to give the uniform to, which makes sense, right? You choose your general, you choose your colonel. However, you find that nobody else can get that power, and if you do, you're a criminal. It feels like a regime. It feels like a Second World War II regime. So the fact that we have this unintentional, intentional little segue out of it, we see the MC rebel. Again, it's kind of cool because the MC is very colorful. She's in the ghetto, so she's getting she's getting bullied by some kids. It's kind of cool because she does say that the kids are they're dangerous, but at least they're not part of the system, they're not part of the school, and her way is through the school. So her real motivation is somebody killed her father, left a weapon behind. She picked up the weapon, and because of that, she wants to get revenge for the father. Basically, at this fight, right? It's kind of cool because right away we meet the class president, and the class president is so fucking cool because she's a final boss, bro. She's a final boss. Even in this episode, she's like, "Oh, have you seen who has the other half of my weapon? The only clue I have on the killer." And she's like, "Yeah, I've seen it." So we know right away that she's a badass. She's the main villain, and it's kind of cool. I know this is gonna be sounding weird, but it's so cool that we have an MC, which is a woman is empowering, and the main badass, the main bad person is a girl too. People are always complaining how the MC of Kill la Kill is sexualized, and I do agree, it's sexualized, it's sexual, right? But you look at the main villain, and she's not sexualized. She's a woman too. You understand what I mean? So we have the MCs. It's kind of cool because after that we see the MCs and new student at school, right? We're seeing the bestie. It's kind of cool because she's her only friend, and it does play in the story later. So the fact that we have a short introduction with the MC that explained to us that the system of level, the system of uniform is kind of super cool, right? Then we meet again. We meet the class president, and the MC wants to fight it, but she's like, "No, you have to fight the boxing club." And it's kind of cool because a school has club, and the club are a super strong way of making clan, of making bosses, of making enemy, because you cannot say, "Oh, class president from class A, class president from class B," because nobody remember that shit. The class president from the boxing club, now that is something we remember, and that's something we can fight. This is the we're fighting. We can see that his uniform has 2 star, right? Anyway, he's telling the MC she lacks training and fuck her up. He destroys her, right? right? The boxer, however, um, he isn't doing that well. He's not doing that well at all. So, like you see, the other class president, the other club president, are giving him shit for not being strong enough, and the MC she retreat, which is kind of cool because she was able to retreat, right? It's kind of cool because we got the boxing club. They're getting punished, right? I wrote down they meet the president. I love it. Explain fancy weapon. So it's also cool because here we have the so what I fucking love about this episode. Sorry, I'm talking about notes because otherwise I forget. I'm forgetful. It's cool because we know that she has a weapon, and we don't know what the weapon is so strong. But the MC doesn't know. We know as a viewer because the class president say, "Well, it's a weapon to destroy our uniform." Right? With this weapon, our uniform are at risk. Our uniform equal power, power equal authority, authority equal place in society. So the place in society is in danger, and you can kind of understand that MC's right of wanting revenge. We can kind of understand the wanting to protect the uniform. Again, it's a regime. It's horrible. It's wrong, but in their own world, it's the way it works. And the way it works for somebody, no matter how flawed it is, it's always going to be their perception, right? With the strength meaning club prez of MC Fall. Oh, nice. She went. She goes back home to say sorry to her father. That's kind of where we learn that she wants to avenge. Then she falls into a hole where she finds a uniform. That uniform is weird. It's different. He's like a perv, and he feeds on blood, and it's kind of cool because we're seeing that the power from the uniform. This one doesn't have a number of star, so it's super cool. We don't know how strong it is, but it's a strong. It's a Goku uniform, so that's good. That's the name of the uniform. They're a Goku uniform, right? They use her best friend, right? Which is not really her best friend. It's the girl who introduced her to the class of the system. So they used her as a lure, and it works well because she's the only character that we kind of like that we give a fuck about. So it works really well. Now we have the boxing club with number two with the boxing club. We can see that he's changing the rule. We can see that he's cheating a bit, but still, it's super cool because he's still not strong enough, right? And we see that the armor can get stronger, can get an iron. It can get super strong, and she defeat the boxing club, which continues to have an impact on the closer she get to the club president, because the boxing club was protecting her, so she understand that she has to raise the club to meet the president, and it's super cool. We end up with her running away, leaving the place. So episode number 2 starts at anywhere we know. It's kind of cool.